Hi guys, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about the books I read between October 6th and 12th. First up, I read The Little Shop of Found Things by Paula Braxton. This book follows Xanth. She and her mother Flora take over an antique shop. Xanth has the ability to sometimes read objects that she finds. When she touches them, she can sometimes sense their past. While out looking for new objects for the shop, she comes across a silver chatelaine and has to know more. While she's examining this chatelaine, she is transported back to the 17th century. Shortly after, she returns to her own time. Not long after that, a ghost confronts her. The chatelaine she holds is involved with the ghost daughter, and the ghost insists that Xanth must travel back in time and help save her daughter's life. If she doesn't, then the ghost plans to harm Xanth's mother. So Xanth has no choice but to go back to the past and to try to right the wrongs that happened to the ghost daughter. While there, she meets a man named Sam and develops feelings for him. He is also a big supporter in her quest to help the innocent girl. Of course, these feelings aren't good at all because Xanth can't stay in the past, and in her future, Sam is long gone. This was quite the interesting story with the time travel aspect to it. It was also interesting to see how Xanth had the ability to travel back and forth. I love how it is displayed how much Xanth loves her mother and worries about her mother while she's in the past. I liked getting to see how things worked in the past and why this girl needed saving in the first place. I think it'll also be interesting to see what comes next for Xanth, as this is the first book in a series. And I'm very curious to see if she finds another way to travel back in time and see Sam, or if maybe in the future we see Sam show up in the present. I gave this book 3.5 stars. Next up, I read Stars of Fortune by Nora Roberts. This is book 1 of the Guardians trilogy. This is a reread for me. I believe I read most of book 2 but never quite finished it, and I've decided that I wanted to finish the trilogy and get it off of my TBR pile, so I decided to reread this book. In this book, we follow Sasha, who is a painter and has visions. In these visions, she keeps painting these same people over and over and over again until she can't ignore the fact that she's painting these people that she's never met before, and she can't get them out of her head. And one of the things she keeps painting is a location. And in the end, she gives in and goes there and starts to meet the people who she's been dreaming about. These 6 people must then work together to protect the Stars of Fortune from an evil entity. This is a romance novel with a fantasy twist, and I gave it 3 stars. When I was younger, I loved Nora Roberts books, so I can't say whether the reason this book only gets 3 stars is because it's just not my favorite trilogy of hers, or whether I have just changed reading tastes as I've gotten older. But this book was just alright for me. I did like the interesting aspects and what made each of the 6 characters unique, as they each have their own ability. Like Sasha has the ability to have visions and dreams of things that haven't happened yet. I definitely plan to finish the trilogy at some point, but I'm not in a super rush, as this book didn't leave me immediately wanting to pick up the next one. And lastly, I read Secret in the Stone by Camilla Banco. This is the second book in the Unicorn Quest series. This is a middle grade fantasy series, and we follow sisters Claire and Sophie. I don't want to say too much, as that would mean spoilers for book 1, but in book 1, Claire and Sophie find a ladder in a fireplace that leads them to a different world, and they have adventures there. And in this book, we continue the adventures of book 1. It was nice to get to meet some new characters while also getting to see some old friends along the way. I am really curious to see what happens in the next book, as this left on a point that made me want to pick up the next book and find out what happens. these are some of the books that I read this week. If you've read any of these books, let me know. What have you guys read recently? And if you've made it this far, leave me a unicorn in honor of Secret in the Stone in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!